Good evening and welcome to Soft Tip Central UK. My name's Dan. Tonight we're going to be interviewing the Bullet himself, the former champion of the world, Mr. Stephen Bunting. So how are you, Stephen?
Yeah, all good, thank you.
Jolly good. So you're all sort of better since your little scare with your positive COVID test, and it's understand that you're absolutely fine and you had no symptoms and everything sort of went swimmingly for you.
Yeah, no, it's obviously the most difficult part is isolating away from the family. So I've been upstairs. Luckily, I've got a three-story house, so I'm on the third floor on my own, locked away. I've got a dartboard there so I could practice, and like I said, no symptoms. I feel on top of the world, to be honest, and can't wait to get out into civilization again.
Yes. How long have you got left?
I had my test. I was positive on the Monday. My test went in, so I think tomorrow, Thursday, it'll be the 10 days. Obviously, that's the government guideline with no symptoms, so I'm out tomorrow.
Oh, so at least you can get back to it. Well, as back to it as you can, considering Liverpool's now in a lockdown.
Yeah, so I get released out of my bedroom, but I can't leave the house basically. So
yeah, well, at least you've got another 2 floors, buddy.
Exactly, yeah.
Feel like going on holiday.
No,
so obviously we're a soft tip dedicated channel, and we do what we do to sort of encourage the soft tip game in the UK. And sort of encourage people to jump on the Target Nexus board, which I believe you've got one of those yourself, and you've been on there and played a few people a few times as well. Is that?
Yeah, no, I love the soft tip game. The Nexus board's brilliant, to be honest. I've played on it. Obviously, I've not got one in me lockup where I am at the minute, but I have one set up at home, and I enjoy going on there and playing a few of the lads when I get time as well. It's a great device to have. I've also got a darts live machine in my garage, which I think there's only 2 or 3 people who have got an online machine at home. So that's a great thing to have as well. And I jump on that every now and again as well to play.
Yeah, I mean the darts live is just a completely different level of soft tip to sort of the Nexus. I mean the just graphically server wise and just the whole sort of experience is a lot more heightened on a darts live board. Have you played any darts live tournaments before?
Yeah, quite a few years ago now, but I won the Hong Kong stage. I played in the World Championships where I had a bounce out to the bull to beat Lawrence O'Lagan in the quarterfinals. So yeah, I've got a good pedigree in the soft tip. To be honest, I was UK's #1 for a year and a half. I always remember I went to La Rochelle, my first ever tournament, and I didn't have a clue what I was doing. And Tony Martin was talking me through the event, how to go for finishing and stuff on the cricket, and I ended up winning the event. So yeah, it was amazing, really, just to be part and obviously be a part of that darts live. Meet the main guy at the time, who was Steve Ingu. I don't think he's there now, but it was brilliant, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I mean, Tony, I speak quite a lot with Tony, and we sort of worked together to try and build the whole ground board scene in the UK. And we're slowly but surely doing that and sort of trying to get some more of the at-home soft tip darts rolling. I mean, I've got a ground board at home myself. I've got the Nexus board, and I talk to sort of the likes of Adrian Gray and people like that have the darts live boards down in Hastings near where I live. And we were actually going to be putting on a massive tournament this year. Unfortunately, our friend COVID came along and put a stop to that. But it's something that we're definitely looking forward to next year. Hopefully, when all this dies down, we're going to be running a lot more darts live tournaments, and it'd be really good if we could sort of see you at a couple of those. That'd be awesome for you to come down and have a play with us.
Yeah, no, that'd be brilliant. Well, like I said, I've got a board at home, so I could just serve it from mine.
But, yeah, that's true. You can just be sitting home in your lounge with a cup of coffee. I suppose we'll be down the pub with a beer though, so it might be worth popping down for a visit. So obviously we're looking at your career, and you've done some amazing things from quite a young age, for quite many years. Don't think many people realise how long you've actually been on the circuit. I mean, 1997 was when you really turned pro, wasn't it? And then you sort of hit the BDO, and you took that by absolute storm, and you won your first World Championships there. And I do say the first World Championship of your career because there will be more. I'm pretty sure of it. And so, what was the moment when you thought I could actually make a career out of this? When did you sort of think this time to go pro?
I think when I was 15 years of age, I played in a few local tournaments, and there was the Lancashire Open. And I always remember just entering and just thinking, there's some good players there. It'd be good to go down and obviously get some experience. And I got all the way to the final. Played Darryl Fitton in the final, and I beat him 3-0. And from that moment, it just clicked in my head, and I said, I want to do this full time. The week after, I went to Eastbourne and won. I always remember being on the practice board, and Roland Shelton said to me, "Good luck in the youth." And I turned around to him and said, "I'm not in the youth, I'm in the men's final." And I ended up winning that men's final, and it was quite quite a unique situation to be in, but I absolutely loved every single minute of it. And it was hard then to like adjust back to playing the youth, to playing like sometimes you could play like some kids who just turned up just for the fun of it, and it was different. But whereas you were playing the men were brilliant because they didn't want to get beat by the kid. So
Yeah. And also, there's a lot more money at stake in the men's as well.
exactly, yeah. I
Some
mean,
little shaver comes in and starts robbing their pockets.
well, that's it. At that time, 15 years of age, I think the Lancashire Open got £1,000, and the Eastbourne Open I think was 12 or 1,500 quid. So in the space of 2 weeks, as a 15-year-old kid, I had £2,500 in my pocket. It, I mean, I've never come. My family's not a well-off family, and but at that time it was brilliant. And to be able to say to my mum and dad, here, mum, look at this, here's a couple of £100, go and treat yourself and stuff. And it was brilliant to be able to do that. And obviously, I never ever thought that I'd be as good in my career and obviously win world titles and be sort of like that. But it's a great feeling to be part of that now. And from the story of when I was young to where I am now, it's brilliant.
So I mean, you've been holding a good account of yourself in the Players Championships this year. You've had some really sort of good runs in those. Um, Obviously, with that, and obviously we've seen on Twitter this week. You put a tweet out, and I saw it, and I thought, am I happy about these new darts, or am I not happy about these new darts? Because I've used your Gen 3 for steel tip for the last 2 years in my league, and everybody hates them because they look like they've got absolutely no grip. But I found them so good when you've been playing for 4, 5 or 6 legs that when your hands warm up,
Yeah.
they most definitely become one of the most grippy darts I think I've ever played with. Looking at your new darts, you've completely gone miles away from that, and you've gone for the now sort of like the little square sort of cross cuts in those. What was the reason for more grip? Have you found that your sort of grips changed, your game's changed?
No, not really. Obviously, I've used the same dart now for the last few years, and I'm always looking to improve my game. And obviously, the Gen 2s I had, I loved them at the time when they come out, and I was playing Premier League with them. And I think I probably switched a bit too soon. Um, Obviously, I went to the smooth ones, and the smooth ones were as close as I was going to get to the darts that I won the Lakeside with. And I absolutely love the Gen 3s. They're brilliant dart. And like you said, even though there's no grip on them, the sweat on your fingers and stuff, they become grippy. So
Yeah,
it's
really
strange.
grippy.
Yeah, it's strange to like sort of get that point across, but there is grip there from your fingers onto that dart. Now, the new grip, I just wanted to get a nicer looking dart, but a dart that also I can play with. And I've been putting the hours in with them. Obviously, I played the autumn series with them and had a really good run there as well.
Yeah, your turnout was great there, really
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. I think my averages as well are creeping up. And honestly, in practice, I'm hitting big scores, big averages, and I've already hit 2 9 darters with them. So I believe that these darts are going to take me to new places and back up their rankings where obviously I want to go. And like you say, you look at Peter Wright, he's always looking for perfection. Van Garen changed his darts.
Shit,
Unfortunately,
that didn't go well.
yeah, it didn't work for him, and he's gone back. But it's trial and error darts, and it could be that you change your stem and it changes your whole throw and the complexion of the way the dart goes in the board. But just for the couple of months I've had these, I absolutely love them, and I do believe that these are going to take me to titles.
I mean, that's the main thing. That's what every single professional dart player wants to do when they start playing darts, is to win titles, to win majors. And obviously, you've won your world championship. You won 2 masters with the BDO. You won countless titles in the BDO. But in the PDC, you've got to the quarterfinals, the semi-finals. It's a case of always been the bridesmaid, never the bride. And fingers crossed, these darts are going to take you to that first major title.
Exactly. And another thing about them is, obviously, when you're in a venue and it's really cold with the smooth darts, then they become slippy.
Yeah.
Whereas with these, whether you're cold or you're warm, the grip is perfect. So in any situation, they become the ideal dart. And not just that, they absolutely look stunning. So
Yeah, I've seen them. They do look amazing. Will there be a soft tip version brought out, do you know?
I would imagine so, yeah. I would imagine there'll be a soft tip, and I'm pretty sure they'll probably keep to the same sort of weights that my Gem 3s were introduced in. So there'll be a 23 and a 25, I would think.
Awesome. And so, because I remember the ones that I had, they were the lightest dart I've ever thrown. I think they were about 12 gram.
Yeah.
The ones that I threw of yours, and obviously saying that about people say, oh, my darts are so heavy from steel tip moving to soft tip, I have to use a much lighter dart. For me, it was really weird because I went from a 12 gram Gen 3 dart to an 18 gram soft tip dart, and it was. How do you find the transition between the two? Because obviously throwing a lighter dart, it probably didn't make much of a difference from you. It's probably just the distance to the board.
Well, I think that helped, to be honest, in my soft tip days when I was playing a lot. In the Liverpool leagues, it's an 8-foot hockey. So obviously, 8 foot is soft tip. And with me throwing a light dart as well, a 12 gram dart, I straight away went to my 12 gram soft tip or 13, 14 gram, whatever it is. But it's just close enough to what I was throwing with. And honest to God, I took to it like a duck to water, to be honest. Like I said, when I turned up in La Rochelle in France, I had no idea how to play the game. Tony said, "Oh, come along, it'll be fun." I had a week off. I said, "Yeah." I took the missus out there, and honest, when I walked into the room, it was just like this big arcade full of these soft tip machines, and you heard all the noises when you're hitting the bowls and stuff, and I was instantly hooked. It was absolutely amazing, and I actually thought I was enjoying it more than steel tip, which is strange because I've played steel tip all my life, but I think just the fun. It's like a bit of a bandit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of it's that. Like I suppose it's kind of a bit of a busman's holiday, but it's so different. You can sort of call it a game as opposed, because obviously being a steel tip dart player is your job. That's what you do for a living.
Yeah.
Whereas soft tip, you can go there and just enjoy the game and not have to worry, and it's just a lot more fun, I guess, for people like yourself.
Oh yeah, and the standard of the player as well was brilliant. There's some cracking players there. There was a few of the PDC lads who turned up and played in that event. And the weather as well helped that week. It was beautiful. The only bad thing was we stopped in this, I think it was a budget hotel, and we had a pull down bed. That was the only negative of the whole week. But the place itself was beautiful, and obviously in good company with Tony, Anastasia, and then there was a few of the lads there from the PDC who were new as well. So I was instantly made to feel welcome, and I absolutely loved me time on the darts lab. I mean, if it wasn't for Darts Lab, I would never have been to places like Hong Kong and Las Vegas. So
Because
I've
they're
got a
huge
lot
tournaments, aren't they?
Oh, it was crazy. I'd never been to America before, so to go out there with me, we manager at the time, and have a great time out in Vegas. And I think I lost in the semi-finals of Vegas, but it opened my eyes up to that the soft tip, how big it actually is. in the world, and then Hong Kong was just special. What a place to play that. And even now, when I speak to Kai Fan Lung, he's one of the best soft tip players in the world. And even when we're at events now, even practicing it for our steel tip, we play cricket to warm up. So on the Darts Connect machine. So obviously it's great practice even for steel tip players.
Yeah, I love the fact that cricket sends you all over the board, and it's so much more strategic than sort of going into a 501 game and smashing bullseyes all day. There's so much you've got to think about with the scoring and the eliminating and getting ahead and sort of choices you have to make. And if you make the right choice, you can win. If you make the wrong choice, it sort of sends you to losing. And there's so much more tactics involved in cricket. I absolutely love the game. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, the way I found it, obviously, I was playing against Scott McKenzie back in the day, I'm playing against Royden Lam in the Hong Kong final, and I didn't find it was what you was hitting, it was what you miss, because if you miss, your opponent didn't miss, and that's what made the game so good to watch. Obviously, at the time then when I was playing in the finals and stuff, it was all live streamed. There's a lot of my games I think on the internet, and when I watched them back, I was like, wow, how have I done that? And several white horses. I think at the time we used to get, I think it was $600. It might have been a bit less than that. It was something like that for a perfect game. And I think in Las Vegas, I think I had 3 or 4 of them. So obviously, just out of the perfect game, I was earning a lot of dollars. It was absolutely
Yeah, I
crazy.
mean, the money was insane. It's died down a bit now, but sort of in the sort of early 2000s to mid 2000s, the money was just insane for soft tip darts.
Oh well, look, I think the World Championship was something like 85,000 to the winner. So
Jeez.
so the money was very very good, and obviously we went to play. I think it was the Kitech in Hong Kong. But that in itself, it was. I remember being out there with Adrian Gray and stuff, and you're in this venue, and there's a beauty pageant for dogs, and they're all there, and it's weird. Just they're all fancy dressed dogs in this room, and then we're in the next room playing soft tip. I'm like, wow, totally different world.
Oh God, there's a few PDC players that are probably taking on the dogs for with a run for their money in fancy dress. Looking at some of the mohawks that are floating around, but obviously you're with Target. Target are your brands. They've made your new darts. What made you choose to go with Target? What made you go with them as a brand? I love them. I think they're a fantastic brand. I think what they've done for darts by embracing it and making it more of a sort of, how can I say it, a fashionable thing to have a set of Target darts when they do like the launch days and different bits
Yeah,
and bits
yeah.
like that. I love how they built the sport around the hype. So what made you choose Target? I mean, you've been with them quite a while now.
Yeah, no, I think they're more of a family, to be honest. I do. Every time I go, I know everyone there, and we always treat each other with respect. I absolutely love them, and for me, they're the best products on the market by none. You look at the packaging. As soon as you go into it, and don't forget that I used to work in a dart shop, so I used to see all this packaging all the time. I used to work, I used to put it out, I used to check the products and stuff. And for me, Target has always been the best. The quality, obviously with the Swiss point now. I over the last few years, I used to get my friend to repoint my dart because I used to always struggle to repoint my dart. Now it's easy. I can do it myself. Just a twist with the key and then put the new point in. It's so simple. But what an invention! What an absolute invention! And just some simple things like that, but they are very very good to me. I couldn't think of being with another supplier, to be honest. And Target have done everything that I've asked of them. If I ever need new darts or stuff like that, I only have to ask them. Or if I want to make a tweak to a dart, or there's any suggestions from them as well. So it's always hands on really, and even when it comes to the design of the products, they ask for my input as well, which is important to me. So I'd say that was the main reason. They are like a family. And Gary Plummer, the MD, he is one of the nicest people you could ever meet, and I class him as a true friend as well.
Yeah, he did a lot to help me with my son. My son's got Williams syndrome, and I did a 12-hour darts marathon back in the day, and that's how I came across your Gen 3s. He donated a load of stuff to a raffle, and I obviously bought a load of tickets for the raffle, and I actually won your darts in that raffle, and I used them ever since. And he's a really generous guy, and I'm very thankful to him. We gave him some signed shirts, a signed board, and stuff like that, and we managed to raise around about £5,000 for my son's charity. So I've always got a lot of time for Target and Gary and the people that sort of work around Target as well, because I just think that if people have got the time to take out of their day to donate something that means so much to me, then I'm going to do everything I can to sort of support those people, and I can't thank them enough for that. So moving forward with the whole Softit thing, you've obviously got a future mapped out for you with your new darts. We've got the Ali Pally coming up at the end of the year. Are we going to see you lift that Prong trophy? Is it going to be your year? What do you reckon?
I'd love to. It's been a dream of mine. I mean, it was well documented when I left the BDO that I wanted to win the Lakeside, and obviously it took me, I think, 7 years, 7 attempts to win that. I think I've been PDC for maybe, I can't remember when. I think my debut was 2014, was it, in the Wales, or 15? So it's come along.
It's been about 5 or 6 years, isn't it?
Yeah. So hopefully I've got a couple more years left in me yet to try and win that title. But like I said, these new darts are flying brilliant and playing really well. Just unfortunate with COVID, I was out of obviously the Grand Prix. I missed out on the match play because obviously of COVID again. With we should have had so many tournaments and we got limited on tournaments. But yeah, I think I'm playing well enough. I believe in my own ability always anyway, and obviously sometimes in the past I've not, but I think I've come out of that cloud now and I'm playing some brilliant darts, and I'm just like I said, I'm really looking forward to where these darts can take me, and I do believe that they can take me to several titles.
Well, obviously, I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. Obviously, it's in the evening now, and you're isolated, and you're probably going to want to sort of chill out and go and have a few throws at the board. But moving forward, regarding the Nexus board, can we see you jumping on there in the near future whilst you're locked down up there in Liverpool?
Of course, yeah. And whenever I'm on, anyone just feel free to send me an invite and I'll play. Like I said, I love it. I've got a Nexus board over in the pub as well. So obviously at the moment all the pubs are shut down. But when the pubs are back open, I've got my own little room upstairs in the pub, so I can just go up there as well. I'm out the way of everyone, and I can jump on the Nexus board and have a great time with everyone as well. And like I said, even on the darts live machine, I've not been on that for a while. But I've just cleared my garage out and that's ready to go again. So I'll be setting that up again soon, and you'll see me on that as well.
That'd be awesome to see you on there, and that's going to mean a lot to the community as well that's been built up with the Nexus, because the Nexus kind of took off around about. I mean, I got my board in March. I had it bought for me for my birthday by my other half, and I started playing on this soft tip board, and then all of a sudden I saw there was a group on Facebook, so I joined it. And then I got invited to play in tournaments by a guy called Liam who works for Target. And he turned around and said, "Oh, do you want to play in some league games? We're doing sort of a league tournament type thing. Do you want to play?" And I did. And I loved it. And I tell you what, the community that's built up due to this pandemic on that board has been phenomenal. And I think it mean a lot to a lot of people that have got these boards from Target. And to see your face in the lobby and to be able to play somebody like yourself, and I know Duz has been on there, Aspinall's been on there, Leighton Bennett plays quite a bit. But seeing more of you guys in the lobby is going to encourage people to embrace this a bit more. And if I'm honest, it's not looking great for us to not have a second lockdown, to be honest. And I think I missed my darts. I haven't played a game of league darts since January. So this has been an absolute godsend, to be honest with you. And it would really mean a lot to the community to see you on the board some evenings.
Well, it goes to show as well. I mean, I remember Target being sold out of the Nexus board for a few months because they were that inundated with sales. And obviously, when we first trialed it out, there wasn't that many people who had it, so it was difficult to obviously test the water. But now you can go on the Nexus board, and there's hundreds of people who've got this now, so it's brilliant. And listen, I'll keep in touch with you, and when I'm on, I'll give you a message and just let people know that I'm obviously on. I'll do it on my socials as well. So when I'm actually playing online and stuff, everyone will see that I'm on, and then just send me an invite and we can have a game.
Awesome. That would be lovely to see you on there. Anyway, I'm going to let you get on with your evening, Stephen. Thank you so much for joining us. It has meant a great deal to hear that somebody of such a high stature in the PDC rankings and in the steel tip game has got such a passion for soft tip. And hopefully there'll be a few more people that follow suit. But no, thank you so much, Stephen, and we will speak to you soon, buddy.
Yeah, no problem at all. I will say as well that in the future I would love to get back into the soft tip. Obviously, the PDC tour and the calendar is pretty intense at the moment, but in the future I will definitely be looking, especially now that Kai's living in Liverpool and we can obviously play a lot together, and he still does some of the soft tip and that. I'll definitely be looking for free dates in my calendar to be doing some events as well.
Awesome. Well, we'd love to see you at some of those, and you have to hook me up with an invite for a few of them.
Definitely. No problem.
No worries, Stephen. It's been lovely to talk to you, buddy, and we'll speak to you again soon.
Yeah,
Take care,
no
mate.
problem. Thank you very much.
Take care, mate.
Bye, mate.